What's going on, people? What is the deal? What is going on? I'm Stephen J, partner Ghost, Real Tough Talk, back on the scene. We're going to give you a little different video. We're going to talk about the All-Star Game, the award nominees. So we're going to get on the award stuff. There's a lot of good awards coming out this season. And it was amazing the play that these players got. But before we get into the players, you know I got my hen dog here. I got kind of rid of the members mark water, and I got
Whoa, slow down. You got rid of the members mark water.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Listen. I got to get somebody to give me the members mark water that has to be replacing your drink. Listen, I have one of the members from the audience giving me the proper drink that you need. Members mark water. This is what you've been advertising all year.
Right.
This is what's paying our bills, and you're letting it go for Hendo. They're not even sponsoring us. This is our sponsor, folks. Members mark water. Go out and get some. Go to your local Walmart. Support them because they've been holding us down for this show. Go and support them because obviously he doesn't.
Well, because of the FCC stuff, I'm gonna let you know that this is really. Iced tea, which is the main part of it, is the members mark water. But when I'm drinking it, it makes me feel like it's a little Hennessy. So I got the head dog in my imagination.
Listen, but you should actually advertise all of that and still promote members mark water because you've been doing it all season, and we're not trying to lose our sponsors. You have me fighting. And I was the one against the sponsorship. I thought it was fake, but nah. They holding us down, and you are trying to get us to lose our sponsor.
I got that hen dog. Woo! This hen dog right here, man. Woo, buddy. Woo! Wait, I'm talking about hen dog.
I'll be the one that sticks to the water.
So now all of a sudden, now you doing the members mark thing. And I said it's members mark, but in my mind, it's that good old hen dog, that brown water. That's that brown water right there. You don't want that brown water. That's that brown water.
All right, let's move on.
Now we're going to get into these things right now. Now, with these awards, we got several awards. I'm going to go over some of them for you if you can know. You got the MVP, league MVP. You got the defensive player of the year. You got the offensive player of the year. You got the coach/captain of the year, because it could be either or. You have the rookie of the year. You have the quarterback of the year. You have the most improved player. You have the giver of the year, the block of the year, and the Johnny Rockstar Award.
But one award that we added this year for some well-deserving players is Rookie of the Year. Every season we have guys that come for the first time into our league and play big for their team, and I believe that they deserve their own recognition for all the hard work that they put in for their team. Just coming out of, whatever league, or sometimes guys play for the first year ever in football and they play big. So listen, shout outs to them. That's why they deserve to be rewarded too for all the hard work they put in their first year.
So we're going to go over some of the award winners. We're going to show you some of their picture of them real quick so you can see, and we'll tell you who's what. We're going to have Twan from FOE right here. 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. One of them he ran back. You're going to have Ralph from the Violators. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. A great season that some statistics can't show how important he was to that team. You're going to have Creep, a signing of the former champs, Super Friends.
Yeah.
He had 3 interceptions, played very good defensively. He was also their backup quarterback and had 5 touchdown passes. You have Dave Legree, who threw for the Browns his first year in the league. He had 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and was sacked twice from the Browns. Had a very good, productive season. And you have Slutty of YMM.
Yeah.
He had 3 interceptions, was a big cog in that YMM defense. Tell me the different things that these guys showed you this season.
First of all of these guys showed heart in almost every play that they put in. From the first play that they walked on the field to play, they played like they belonged here, and they've been playing here forever. You have Dave coming from in the middle of the season, taking over the helm at quarterback for the Browns when they had practically nothing, and he made that team into a contendership. Yes, they brought some other playmakers from the AFC team to join the Browns, but I think Dave was a big factor because regardless of how many playmakers you have, if you do not have a quarterback that can get them the ball, it doesn't make any difference. And that's why Dave was picked to be here, because he had a good season from the games that he played. Slutty, 3 interceptions, but that doesn't speak for how important he was for this team. He played offense as well, had some big plays on offense. Didn't necessarily, put in some for touchdowns, but he helped them drive down the field on offense. But he was a big factor on defense, knocking down passes, locking up on receivers, and being a factor on their defense. Then you also have Ralph, who he came in from the beginning of the season, was a big factor on both sides of the ball. Being a tall body, knocking down passes, being a go-to receiver for Yomi early in the season, and that's just pretty much playing big on both ways. Then you got to mention Creep, doing what he got to do regardless of what position he played on. He played very well on defense, 3 interceptions, very productive, but also when they needed to on backup quarterback, throwing 5 touchdowns.
Right.
He had one stinker of a game, I'm gonna admit, on his last game of the season, but that doesn't show how important he was for this team. And then last but not least, I gotta show Twan of FOE, a clear rookie from FOE playing for the first time in this league. Twan came in very dynamic on defense, lockdown. He's a person that you would not throw in his area. He showed that to a lot of quarterbacks this season with 7 interceptions picked off. 7 interceptions and 1 ran back for a touchdown. Unfortunately, he got hurt towards the end of the season. I believe he got hurt on week 6, so he had 2 more games to go.
Right.
Who knows how high his stat line could have went if he was able to play those 2 games. But nothing can dispute how important he was for this team, and that's why he's on this list.
I'm impressed with Dave. Dave being the helm quarterback, and the quarterback is held to a high regard.
Yeah.
And for him to come in and immediately make a struggling offense, as we saw in the beginning of the season, Browns had nothing offensively. And for him to be able to walk in the door and make this team a competitive team was great. Now, they didn't build that up that momentum that they had in the regular season, winning some games into the playoffs. But this is a regular season award. And them 10 touchdown passes was very impressive. He made the Browns a competitive game. He made them a top team. Despite their record may resemble, he made them a top team since they had Reggie. So I think that's one that I think is kind of I think is the front runner for that award, because his game just proved, and I mean, we call them rookies. These guys play, but they're rookie in this league. It's a different league, 4 rush count, blitz, non-cursing, and he just showed the ability to be one of the best newcoming rookies in this year.
Fine and dandy about everything that you said about Dave, but do I think that he deserves the
Of course,
Rookie
you're
of
not
the
going to
Year?
agree with what I say.
No,
of course.
because
You're trying to do that thing that I don't got to agree with him, and I'm so different.
It's not about being different. Right. It's not about being different. It's about having facts and being correct. You're not either.
I think you're the one drinking the hen dog.
Says you, who has the cup in your hand. You falling out of place right now with your choice on Dave. Nothing against Dave, but my pick for the Rookie of the Year has to be Twan of FOE. This guy, from the first game that he played on, he was a big factor for this defense. Locking down, he was a big body, knocking down passes, and then 7 interceptions. How can you not give a Rookie of the Year, give the Rookie of the Year award to someone who has 7 interceptions, 1 ran back for a touchdown? And the thing about it is, this was until week 6 when he got hurt for the rest of the season. So again, how can you not give a person who didn't even finish out the season and have such impressive numbers the award? This person was everything for this team. Me personally, I would argue those are MVP numbers, but let's not go that far. I think that he is a shoo-in to win Rookie of the Year, in my opinion.
Well, we're going to have to see what happens with these guys. I mean, those are our opinions. We have a whole board that takes votes. So they may, you may say Creep, some may say Ralph, Slutty. We got different things. These are just people that
These are people that we're highlighting as front runners for the award.
All right, we're going to jump into the next one. The next one that I want to talk about is the most improved player. And I'm going to go over these players, and I'm going to let you know what they brung. You're going to have Chris from Dutchman. Last year, Chris had 3 touchdowns for Dutchman. This year, he improved his play by let me say the award over. The next award I want to talk about is the Most Improved Player award that's named after our niece that passed away. The Kendisha Carroll Price Most Improved Player award. And these guys are guys that played last season and had to step up their play, didn't play well, and had a great comeback, improved season, similar to when we went through the situation of our niece passing away. That was a tragedy that we had to find a way to come back from. So we felt it's appropriate to name an award after her based on something that we had to personally go through. So when you look at that, you have guys like Chris that played with Dutchman. Chris last year, three touchdown catches. Was like a non-factor. We didn't really get to know him. We didn't get to see him. This year, when Chris went out and they got a quarterback, the other Chris, 5 touchdown passes, 3 extra points. And he was one of the most dangerous guys going downfield. I know he only had 5 touchdowns, which is only a 2-touchdown improvement. But this man was able to stretch the field and make great catches downfield that was dangerous to any team he played against. You're going to have Brandon of YMM. Last year, 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points. Really mediocre season. This year, he came back. 8 touchdown catches, 2 2-point conversions. And he was YMM's best weapon. When a lot of guys wasn't here, Rico wasn't here, Santana wasn't here, Jeremy wasn't here, Slutty and they big pickup, Javon wasn't here, no bones. This guy took over offensively, regardless if it was Corey throwing, regardless if it was Jeremy throwing. This guy dominated offensively. Not the same type of downfield runner like Chris, but a guy who gets open in the middle, finds a way, one of the best crossing routes he has in the game right now in UFL, 8 touchdowns. You're going to talk about the next one. Moses also played with the Dutchman. You know how many touchdowns Moses had last season? None. No touchdowns last year. This year, 7 touchdowns coming into the last week of the season when he got hurt. If that's not an improvement, I don't know what is. This guy showed the ability to be dominant, and for 24 touchdown passes that Reggie threw, for 7 of them to be the Moses is awesome. This guy really showed his ability. He's a former MVP of years back when the league was in Bronx, but he showed in Brooklyn, but he showed the ability to put points up when the team needed on a team full of superstars. Then you got Sean. Sean played with a bad Wildcats team last year. His numbers, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. This year, Sean came back, went to Never Scared, tied the league in touchdown passes with Brandon with 8, and then added in 4 interceptions. The guy played both ways, showed his ability to make plays on both sides of the ball, and was easily Never Scared's best player last year.
And the thing about it is a lot of those were downfield passes. He was practically unguardable this season when it came to him going downfield. That's one of the factors that got Fred to throwing 19 touchdowns. And that was one thing that kept the engines going, the gears going in their offense. Sean was the biggest factor on their offense because regardless of what, Sean was a big time player in whatever game they played, whether win or lose. Sean was a person that kept the ball going and made big plays for them whenever they needed to. So I think that he deserves to be on this list.
I think the front runner for me on this list would be Sean. Definitely show his ability to play both ways of the ball. Definitely show as becoming one of the more emotional leaders of this team. And 8 touchdowns after only having 1 last year. 4 interceptions after only having 1 the previous year showed that once he was on a better team, he became a better player. Not that he was the best player last year on a bad team. He was the best player on the good team, and that's a great play. I think Sean should definitely be most improved player.
I'll give Sean 1 compliment, but then I'm going to disagree with your pick. The 1 compliment I'm gonna give him is that he was able to fit into this Never Scared offense like he belonged there, like he's been there all along. Coming from the Wildcats, he was able to fit in and connect with Fred immediately. From the first game, they were able to connect. So that's impressive for a person that's just joining a team that he's never played with. I'm going to give it to Moses of Dem Getters for multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons. Now you're trying to use big words.
Listen, because there's more than one reason. Multiple.
Right.
So, again, multiple reasons. So.
You're getting all wild.
Because I'm right? Listen, one reason is that he came out of nowhere last season, had no touchdowns at all with Dutchman.
Yeah, didn't smell the end zone.
He had nothing. This season, 7 touchdowns. And it didn't matter what team he faced. He was putting up points. He was getting open in the middle. He was beating guys off crossing routes. And he is not one of those fast, short guys. He is a big, heavy-set guy who had deceptive speed, who was beating defenders out there. 7 touchdowns, and he didn't even complete the season. He got hurt towards the end of the season, I believe 1 or 2 games left, and he was not able to complete the season. So who knows how high his numbers could have been, because regardless of what game he played in, he was able to be a big factor for their offense. Another reason is because this guy, and like I said again, I kind of put 2 reasons in one. He is not their fastest guy. He is not their most, no offense to him, he is not their most talented guy.
No.
You know, there's a lot of guys that's Dre, Juice, Ed, like I said, you just named a few. Rubio, Cruz. So they have a lot more talented guys at this point. But Moses outplayed all of them on offense.
And that's why I think he is not the most improved player, because of the attention that these guys draw, he's going to have a great game. Because the attention is drawn everywhere else. Sean was never scared. Only productive, consecutively weapon. Moses was surrounded by talent. If I recall, didn't them Getters have the best offense in the league?
But why?
Did them Getters have the best offense in the league?
Yes, they did.
Was Moses a part of that offense?
Yes, he was.
You take Moses out of the offense. Are they still the top offense?
I can't say that.
No, you can't.
I can't say that.
If you take Moses out the offense, Juice, Ed, Cruz, Rubio, Reggie throwing, is he still the best player?
Me personally, in the way he performed, yes.
Blasphemy!
Listen, it's not about talent. It's not about talent. Like I just said.
Forgive him, for he know not what he do.
Oh, God.
This man is on something or coming off of it.
Listen.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Point. The difference between Moses and Sean was their most talented guy on offense. He was. There was nobody that was battling him in terms of talent. So he's going to perform that way. The difference is, with Moses, he wasn't. But yet still, he was one of their most important factors on offense.
Okay.
He's the one that got them to go.
Okay.
And that's why I make that pick.
We're going to wrap it up and go to the next award. I just want to say he is faulting Sean for being the best offensive player on the team, but saying it's okay that even though Moses wasn't the best offensive player on the team, he was the best offensive player.
He wasn't the most talented, but he was the best offensive player.
Let's go to the next award. The next award we're going to go over is the Paris Hall Giver of the Year. We named it after him this season. Paris, a guy that played with Reloaded in this league, also plays with Grind Time. We know he was in the tragedy last summer.
Yeah.
Getting shot. And he's in a wheelchair now. He's trying to battle his way back. And because of this kid's strength, not only EHS named their MVP award after him in the championship game, UFL named the Giver of the Year award for him just to show this kid strength and everything he brings. And he also played in the league, so that makes it even better.
And the thing about it is, he is one person that, regardless if he was the best player of the team or a person just filling in for somebody else, he gave it his all. He had so much heart, and every play that he was in was very important. And he fought, and that's one of the things that's the characteristic for the giver. They're a person that is essential to fighting. To be productive for their defense. A person who fights on every down to make something happen. And that's one of the characteristics we wanted to imbue in this award for Giver of the Year, because that's exactly the characteristics that a Giver of the Year actually has. And
much love to Paris. Waiting for you to come back, bro. Keep pushing strong.
Definitely.
We're going to keep that Paris challenge going. So keep going, brother. Now we're going to go over the nominees. You're going to have Sean of Violators with 8 sacks. You're going to have Mijo of Carver Mob with 6 sacks and 1 interception. And you're going to have Heck of 99 Problems coming in with 9 sacks. Tell me what you think of who and who you think is the front runner.
I think with Sean, I think the thing that he brings to the table is not only is he able to sack a lot of quarterbacks, he's very tall, he gets in the quarterback's eyes, and one thing that he sets apart from other ball givers is that other givers is that he is physical. He's one person that will put fear in the quarterback that he's facing against. When he's rushing in, quarterbacks pay attention and it affects their play. So even if he's not even putting his hands on them, knowing that Sean is coming in is a very scary sight. He's one person that can get through blockers when he needs to. He can still get into a quarterback's eyes. And like I said, that fear factor is a difference maker for Sean. The next player is Mijo of Carver Mob. He is a different type of giver, not a person that is going to always power through blockers. But
this man's length is crazy.
His arm length, his wingspan is one thing that's a big factor for this guy. He's not only is able to, reach out and get quarterbacks that are faster than him because of his arm length, but he's also able to get in their eyes and knock down a lot of passes, something that he's been doing a lot this season. And it actually, factored into an interception he was able to catch in this season. So he was a person that actually affects their whole defense with the way he plays.
I think he has the best diving tags as far as like chase downs because of his length.
His arm length is what creates that fact that it closes out the distance between him and the quarterback.
Right.
I'm not going to say he's the fastest, but the arm length is what gets him to be able to reach out and get faster quarterbacks, and that's why he's a factor on as a giver of the year.
And heck, the reigning giver of the year.
Yeah, the reigning giver of the year, what can I say that hasn't been said already for this guy? Gives it his all, fights no matter what,
has speed.
Who's in front of him, but his speed and his maneuverability is what gets him through blocking.
Yeah.
He's able to get through bigger guys that have a size advantage on him. He's able to use his speed and able to swim through them to get to the quarterback. He's also able to keep up with faster quarterbacks, which is another factor that got him his 9 sacks, a stat that he matched last year, this year. So he's very consistent, and that's another reason why he's factored in as giver of the year.
And he did it playing with a new team.
Yes.
That's what I think is amazing. He went from the Browns and did this to go to 99 and do the same thing. So no matter what system you put this guy in, he can be dominant. I like to say, for me, I think the front runner is Mijo. The 6 sacks and the 1 interception show his ability to make plays. This guy can chase down any quarterback. This guy can also, any tip can become an interception. And I just love this man's energy. I think he should be the front runner for this award.
And this is a hard thing to choose between all 3 of these guys, but I gotta edge Sean as my choice, over Hector, because he is one of the factors that got to the Violators being one of the
best defense,
the best defense in the UFL this season. Probably one of the best defense I've ever seen in the UFL, because this guy factors in on how the defense plays. His play affects how the defense plays overall. When he's able to pressure the quarterback, when he's able to determine what plays that they do because of the way he rushes in, the way he gets through blockers, the way he gets into the quarterback's eyes, and that fear factor is what makes quarterbacks throw interceptions. Just him coming in is enough to make a quarterback make a mistake, and I think that fear factor is what edges him into me picking him for Giver of the Year.
All right, we're going to move on to the next award. That is Block of the Year. You're going to have the reigning Block of the Year here again, Ricky from Carver Mob. You're going to have Speedy from Violators. You're going to have Rep City's B-Dot for Block of the Year. And you're going to have 99 Problems Book for Block of the Year. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go over these guys. Ricky, one of the top blockers in the game. The thing with this guy is he's able to block multiple guys rushing his quarterback. And he's really showed the ability to just show straight power. You know what I mean? I just love his power that allows him to push a lot of other rushers back. Speedy, his size. Speedy's size is hard to get around him. So because of his size, I just love the fact that he takes up so much space. By the time you get around this guy, Yomi already got the ball off. So I think that's what he brought to the table. B-Dot added power, but he also is swift on his feet, that he can move like similar to like a ballerina, because the guy's footwork is very good. It's hard to get around him because he can move with a lot of different guys despite their size. And I like the book is the ability to plant his feet in the ground and not move on the block. The guy went to the gym, he gained some muscle, and now when you got aggressive givers coming straight up, The way that he can plant his feet into the ground allows him to take away the vibration that these guys bring on their impact and protect his quarterback.
So you're talking about his leverage.
Yes, exactly.
Leverage, so.
Don't change what I'm saying.
Well,
it is leverage.
Yeah.
But the leverage is caused by the way he digs his feet into the ground.
Yeah, but you said vibrations and he has superpowers now? Like
that's what that guy showed, man. He should be what superhero would he be?
Huh?
Give me a superhero you think he is.
Well, I don't know, because I'm not really keen on superheroes that have like vibration powers.
I thought you was gonna say, of course, I thought you was gonna name a black superhero or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't know nobody who has sound
like
powers or anything like that. But vibrations, like
the vibration.
So guys have superpowers now.
Yo, listen,
you stretch things way too far.
I think the front runner of this award, I like Book, and the reason I like Book is he was one of the worst blockers in the league last year, and to improve and do what he did for a quarterback that does not throw a lot of touchdowns, does not put up a lot of points, but this team had one loss in the regular season, shows his ability to give his quarterback time in order to close out games. So I like Book.
Now, I'm going to say this. This may be something that's hard to believe, but I have two guys that I can't decide between.
And by the way, just to let y'all guys know, just because we say who our front runners, remember, we still got Tim that has a choice.
Yeah.
We still got 3 other members on the board that everybody votes.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people that's actually on the field that y'all don't even know about that's watching the game that takes votes with us.
Yeah.
So just because we say this guy's a front runner, that doesn't mean that that's the guy that's winning the award.
The thing about it is I have two guys on this list that I'm still battling around. I mean, I have my decision, but it's just one edges out the other.
Right.
And my guys that I was disputing with was Speedy of Violators and B-Dot of Rep City. These guys, to me, had Speedy had the best early season, and B-Dot had the best latter half of the season. The end, B-Dot was solid, defending Hood, and their play on offense improved because of his play. Speedy kind of tailed off at the end of the season once they changed quarterbacks. I don't think that he was utilized as much as they needed him, as they should have. B-Dot became a bigger factor as they went along. As Hood came back, B-Dot became his blocker.
Right.
And he was able to improve in the way that they use him and the way that he was able to protect Hood. They had a chemistry on the field that was undisputable. Like, it was... Like, there was no comparison to that chemistry that they had on the field. Because the way he was able to protect Hood, Hood's play was able to improve that much. So... I think that because of the latter half of the season, B-Dot stepped up his game. I think that I'll put B-Dot just above Speedy as my pick for the giver of the year, as the block of the year, because of how he ended the season. Solid. He's able to plant his feet, and he's able to get good positioning to get him the advantage against guys rushing in. I give him the edge as block of the year.
All right, we're going to go to the next award. The next award we're going to talk about is Coach of the Year, coach/captain, because it could be a coach on the sidelines or it could be a captain that's running the team.
Yeah.
We're going to have Davi of 99 Problems. Team went 7-1, tied for the best record in the East. You're going to have Hollywood from the Getters, 7-1, best offense in the league. You're going to have Carvamar Pams, 6-2. And I mean, Pam's never been in the running before because he always asks us not to give him an award. He wanted other guys to give it to him. We threw that out the window, and we're gonna do what we want to do. Yeah. And he's up there because this was the best team Carver had. And the reason I said team is they didn't have any real superstars, but they still was 6-2. And IOD, Adi, 7-1, tied for first place in the East. And they went out, got Swiss, got Akon, got Lou. Everybody played their role. No headaches, no problems, and they followed the IOD formula. And that's only based on your leader, which is Adi. And especially that Tony's not here, and this team is able to still play. And remember, it's not a playoff award, it's a regular season award. They still was tied for first place.
Yeah.
I like this team also.
And the thing about Adi is that he is actually their quarterback. So to take all that responsibility, being your team captain and the quarterback at the same time, that's like there's redundancy there because a quarterback is also, known as the team's captain. A lot of times, more times than not, the quarterback is the team's captain. So he already has that responsibility to lead the team. And he also does it on the sideline, on their defense, managing their defense, managing their players, and, coaching them on the sideline. So he has that job, it's like I said, redundant because he has it in two ways in two ways.
I have a kind of split one, and I think my split is between Davi from 99 Problems and Pam's from Carver Mob, because these, out of all the other teams that's here, these was the less talented teams.
Yeah.
99's best player was Shannon, and that's it. 99 best player last year was Shannon. But this team was better. Their role players that they went out and got made this team better.
Yeah.
And not, and not say, I'm not taking the team and I need to go get superstars. They had role players. And Carver did the same thing. Their role players, Juice, Bo, White, put this team together, and they still was a formidable team to go 6-2. So I think for me, that's my little split on one of those two.
And, one person that you kind of forgot is one person that I got to choose as, my front runner for Coach Captain of the Year, and that has to be Hollywood of them Getters. A lot of people would, say, oh, he had the best team in the league or whatever, best offense, but the fact that he's able to keep that team so consistent and have them improve from the team that they were last year, because they had a formidable team last year with them Getters. Their offense was, a very strong offense. They fell off in the playoffs last year, but this year, they actually improved on what they already had. Hollywood had some acquisitions that they had for this team, picking up Moses,
Juice,
picking up Juice,
Arberly.
They got Rubio back this season. So a lot of improvements that they had. Los is back as their blocker / tight end. So this team became that much stronger on both sides of the field. And you have to have a coach to manage all of that and keep them strong. And that's why they were one of the best teams in the season. Probably one of the best offenses in UFL history. And you got to give the coach on how he manages to put that together.
All right, the next award I want to go over is the Quarterback of the Year award. You're going to have Fred of Never Scared. 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 10 sacks. Dave of the Brown. 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. Adi of IOD. 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 8 sacks. Reggie of Them Getters. 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 11 times sacked. Chuck of Carver Mob. 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 8 times sacked. What do you think of those awards? And what do you think about those quarterbacks?
All these quarterbacks played big for their team. The only thing is, I would have loved to see Dave play a little more football.
I think that's what's going to hurt him for this award.
I think that because he didn't play as many games, we didn't get to actually gauge him the way that we would want. But the games that he played very well. To only throw 2 interceptions and only get sacked twice and then throw 10 touchdowns, those are some great numbers for the games that he played. So I got to give him credit for the lack of games that he played. The games that he did play gets him on this list because those games were some impressive games that he played. Reggie, lights out for their offense. But he had so many weapons that's one of the things that kind of have me thinking, well, does he deserve that Quarterback of the Year when you had such a great offense all around?
He got sacked more than any other quarterback, which limited his interceptions because he took a lot of sacks. And because he didn't throw interceptions, it didn't mean he didn't get stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just didn't throw interceptions.
Yeah.
But 11 sacks, that's kind of a high number.
And I'm going to mention a quarterback that would, get my pick, a quarterback that had some impressive numbers, 19 touchdowns. He did throw 11 interceptions in Fred, but he had a less talented team than all these other guys that you would that are looked on this list.
Right.
Less talented than them Getters, obviously.
Yep.
Less talented than the Browns when they picked up their acquisition guys from AFC. So without a doubt, he would be my pick because he had less guys to work with on his team, but he was still able to put up a high number of points with 19. That's saying a lot. Even though he had 8 of those touchdowns was to one player, the consistency that he was able to connect with this one player and spread the ball around to these other players, that gives him my vote for quarterback of the year.
And I think the front runner for this for me is Reggie. 24 touchdown passes, the best offense in UFL this year, possibly of UFL history. You can't take that away from the man. And I know he got sacked a lot, which I say he got sacked more than all the other quarterbacks, but he only threw 5 interceptions, and he started every game. You got to give this man his props. This is the old Reggie reincarnated.
Yeah.
24 touchdowns. This team went 7-1. 7-1 to 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
Best team in the league this year, regular season wise. Give this man his respect. I think that's my front runner for that award. Next award we're going to talk about is the Defensive Player of the Year award. You're going to have Meech of Rep City, 7 interceptions. You're going to have Twan of FOE, 7 interceptions. 1 of them he ran back. And you're going to have Ricky of Carver Mob, 5 interceptions with 1 sack. First, I'm going to talk about Twan. I love this guy's game. The guy got height and he got some speed. He's able to guard taller receivers. So if you throw the ball up, he has like a basketball length. He could go up and get it. And he can make you pay by taking it back the other way.
Yeah.
Very impressive the way he played. Meech really got on the level where he could read the field. So he kind of anticipates where the ball is going to go. And a lot of times you see he was at the right place at the right time. You can't do it consistently all season and think it's just luck. And Ricky showed the ability to not only put pressure on the quarterback, but to drop back in coverage and guard tight ends, running backs, and come through with interceptions.
Yeah.
That is a talent that is very difficult. You usually have a guy who can blitz but can't really cover, a guy who could cover but can't really blitz. Ricky brought both, which these other guys couldn't do both of that.
Wait.
Oh, so I'm a fit?
Yeah.
My front runner on this award is difficult. This is a difficult one. But for me, I like Ricky because he got 5 intos playing middle linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
He got 1 sack. I think his sacks is going to hurt him to win this award.
Yeah.
If he got more sacks, but the ability to be able to drop in coverage and also bring pressure is what a defensive player is all about.
So that's your pick?
I think he's going to be a front runner for this award.
Okay.
Not saying that that's my pick.
Okay.
But I think when the nominees get together, when I say my front runner, that doesn't mean that's my pick.
Okay.
I say that when we got together and we sit down with the guys who's voting, this is why he's going to be a front runner.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Which is the same thing you're saying. We're not telling. I could say my front runner. That's not to me. That's going to be my vote.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ghost.
Yeah.
But we're just telling you who we think the nominees are going to front run and why.
Okay. And my front runner, in my opinion, it has to be Twan. Because this guy never played in this league before and is able to fit in like he belonged in the league. Able to lock down, keep up with a lot of the guys that he played against, and is able to catch quarterbacks off guard. Even though he's has a height advantage over a lot of receivers, he was able to catch a lot of those picks by catching the quarterback off guard. The quarterback didn't see that he had that deceptive speed that he could go and take the ball. I'm not forgetting Mr. Meech of Rep City because he's another front runner as well. I got to put both of them because they were tied with interceptions. Equally so, but their play is so different. I think Twan uses his height advantage to surprise a lot of quarterbacks in the way he gets his interceptions.
And Meech
uses his speed. And he just comes out of nowhere. He's a person that can read the ball, track where the quarterback is looking, and a lot of times cheat on the ball effectively without hurting him from getting back and getting beat. So a lot of times Meech deceptively with his speed and able to position himself to get that football. So that is a reason why Meech is on this list, and he's deservingly so to get this award just like everybody else.
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Offensive Player of the Year. You're going to have Sean from Never Scared, 8 touchdowns. You're going to have Chris from Dutchman, 5 touchdowns, 3 extra points. You're going to have Moses of Them Getters, 7 touchdown catches. And then you're going to have Brandon of Wyman, 8 touchdown catches, 2 2-point conversions. I like Moses' height. It made it so easy for Reggie to find him because of his size and height. And he was dominant when he played in this game. Chris shows his ability to go downfield on anyone. Didn't matter who you guarded this man with. He found a way to score. Brandon, unguardable. You had to base your defense how to stop him. He was this season YMM's only consistent weapon. Sean showing the ability to make big plays and find the football. That was his greatest ability this season. For this award, I like Brandon of YMM.
Yeah.
8 touchdowns, helping YMM. This season when most of their superstars was out, Brandon showed the ability. He was always an all-star. I think now he moved up to a star. He's on a borderline star. You know what I mean? I got your role player. I got your all-star. I got your star. And I got your superstar. I think Brandon is just touching the star level. He was an all-star, but now he's touching your star level.
Meaning that's the play he plays no matter where you go. Yeah.
All-star is something that you make. You may not be consistent, but you're an all-star. Star is that's what you are. Superstar, you're dominant. You can take over games on your own.
Yeah.
So that's what I think he's the front runner.
And I got to mention 2 guys on this list. I got to mention Chris because he was very elusive and he was able to get himself through defenses like he wasn't there. And how can you not see somebody running down the field with a neon green headband?
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's literally shining on the field, and
ugly.
you still can't see him.
It's ugly.
That's exactly.
It's very ugly.
But listen, that's how you know that Chris is open. You see a flashing headband going downfield.
Say flashing, ugly headband.
Listen, doesn't matter if it's ugly or not. The point is, it doesn't matter because they don't see it. He was able to get through no matter what defense he played against. Chris was a factor in that game, getting downfield, getting through the defense. A lot of times putting up some of their only points in the game.
And if Chris, the quarterback, would have threw to Chris, the receiver, on that last play, them getters are not even in the chip because they're eliminated. Just to throw that out there.
And that's the crazy thing. All the way from the beginning of the season, all the way to the playoffs, he was able to connect with this quarterback and not be seen by any defense out there. And that's why I have to give him a shout out. But my front runner for me has to be Sean of Never Scared because he was their offense. He was them moving downfield. He was them scoring downfield. He was Fred's go-to guy going and putting up points.
Think the record's going to hurt him.
The record may hurt them, but the point is they would have no wins without Sean. So I gotta give him the front runner position for me because again, without Sean there, they would win no games, and that's something, in my opinion, is indisputable. So I gotta put him on that front runner list.
We got 2 more awards. I'm gonna go over one. You're gonna have the Johnny Rockstar Award. For those that don't know, Johnny was a player that played in our league a few years back on a team named the Kill Bills. He also played in UFL when in the BFL when it was in Brooklyn, and he played on a team called the Unknowns. He passed away about 2 years ago, and we named this award after him and Johnny. And then you have the rock star from all y'all guys that knows rock star that played in Brooklyn. Definitely played. I think it's No Remorse he played with. I'm trying to remember exactly the team he played with. The team now name is the Rock Stars. I don't think it was No Remorse. I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry, but. Bottom line, he played in Brooklyn. He got a team now after he passed away in a car accident. The team that's playing is called the Rock Stars.
Yeah.
So UFL and BQFL, since we're all joining together at the hip, we named this award after him. Now, the nominees, we're not going to give you nominees because this can be given to any player that we see is called the Johnny Rockstar Heart and Determination Award.
Yeah.
So that could be given to any players. And we did the award, and it was the first time we had a tie last year, which was Meech and Yomi. Meech from Rep City and Yomi from Violators.
Yeah.
So we decided to make it an East and West award. Yeah. So now you have one player in the East win it, and you have one player in the West win it.
Yeah.
So you'll get to see that at the field who wins that award. But now we're going to talk about the biggest award in the league, the UFL League Season League MVP award. Yeah. You got Brandon from YMM, 8 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, led YMM in catches, big plays downfield. They're basically only weapon. He got to be up there. You're going to have Reggie, 24 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions. definitely played dominant at the quarterback position to one of the best offenses in the league. He's the reason this team goes. You're going to have Sean, 8 touchdown catches, 4 interceptions, never scared, best weapon, if not only weapon, basically helped this team compete every week. You're going to have Dre from them getters, 4 touchdown catches, 5 interceptions, 1 sack, but was the heart and soul of this team offensively and was one of the heart and soul of this team defensively.
Yeah.
Dominated on both sides of the ball, was ability to do it even on special teams, and he showed he's the cog that makes everything goes, even more importantly than Reggie. What do you think about these nominees?
I think that they're all deserving to be on this list because without these people on their respective teams, they would not be the same team at all. They would not be nearly as effective without each of these guys playing for these respective teams. Dre, you saw how important he was from last season when they lost in an Elite Eight. They were up a couple, 2 touchdowns, and as soon as he got 2 minutes left in the game, he got hurt, and they pretty much died on the field.
Absolutely,
like, their heart disappeared. You know, they were very quiet. They weren't as aggressive. They were, not playing the same. They were a different team without Dre. And he showed that yet again this season with the way he played. He keeps the team together. He is their heart. He gets their fire going. He gets them amping every single game. And he's a factor on both sides of the field, on defense and on offense. Plays hard in every single play. And you know he's on the field playing. Regardless of what he's doing, you know that he's there. He's going to be a factor wherever he's at. So he's deserving to be there. Then there's Sean of Never Scared, who was their offense, who was their team. Without Sean, I don't think Never Scared has a chance to win the majority of the games that they won this season. They wouldn't even compete in these games. Because there was a lot of games that Never Scared gave up because, they came up short. But Sean was a factor in each of those games. You take him out, and this team is almost non-existent. So that's why he's on this list. Then you have Reggie, another Them Getters player, another person that you take him off this team is not nearly as effective. Reggie having one of the best seasons, if not the best season he's ever had in the UFL with 24 touchdowns. You take away that 24 touchdowns, even half it, and this team is not as effective as they were this season. So you got to put him in the MVP running because without him, this team is not as dynamic. They wouldn't be a first-place team at all. They wouldn't be as competitive as they are now in the regular season or in the playoffs. So that's why, not to say that the playoffs are a factor, but regular season, they wouldn't be the same team. And last but not least, I got to mention Brandon of YMM. Obviously, he was their offense. When a lot of guys wasn't showing up in the beginning of the season or towards the end, Brandon was consistent from the first game to the end of the last game. When he didn't play as effectively as he usually did, they lost every single time. Mm-hmm. And that shows how important he was. When he was on the field, they were able to move the ball effectively, and they were able to put up points. Take him out, YMM is not the team that they were with him on the field.
All right, we're going to take a break real quick. Those are the MVPs. Those are all the award nominees. We're going to give you the All-Stars when we come back. Basically, we're going to show the All-Stars, how many years they made it, just to show you who's there, and then we'll give you the wage of the All-Star game. I have quick tips on the chip, and then we're going to wrap up the show. So we're going to be right back. Real Tough Talk. All right, people. We're back. Now I'm going to show you my All-Stars. This is my Beasts of the East All-Stars. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to see my defense. See, I run the defense a little different than Ghost. Everybody likes to run that 4-2. I like to run a little 2-4. My corners play back off the line just to take away the quick looks to the outside, but not necessarily be in the front. So just to let you know, mine is a little different. I'm going to start out with my starting defense. At ball giver from 99 Problems, Heck. My middle linebacker, the captain from Rep City, Meech, playing the middle. My other middleman from IOD, playing the middle, Swiss. My corners, playing the corner from FOE, Ja. My other corner from the Browns, Binky. My safeties, as one safety from 99 Problems, Mike. And my other safety from YMM, Slutty. That's my defensive starters. Now I'm going to make a quick adjustment. As you see, Swiss is going to be in the championship, so I know Swiss is not going to be able to play. So I'm going to make a little switch, and I'm going to slide Swiss out from the middle, and I'm pressing in from YMM, Gaka, playing the middle. Now I'm going to go to my offense. Starting from the Browns at quarterback, Dave. My wideout, wide receiver, starting from the Rebels, Mo. My other wide receiver, starting from YMM, Brandon. Then I have in my slot, starting from the Browns, Travis. My other slot receiver, from IOD, Buck. Then I have my running backs. Running back 1, from 99 Problems, Shannon. Running back 2, from the Browns, starting, Pablo. Now I'm going to have another little switch. I know that I don't have Buck because Buck was going to be in the All-Star game.
With the championship.
I mean, in the championship game. So because he's going to be in the championship game, I'm going to slide out Buck and I'm putting in Tess. Those are my starters on my...
Tess of Rep City.
Then I'm putting the start, Tess from Rep City. My reserves, even though they're not playing, if they're reserve, I'm going to still name them. My reserve, from IOD, Brandon. My reserve, from the Rebels, Machine. My reserve, from Rep City, my blocker, B-Dot. My reserve, from Rebels, Zeke. My reserve, from 99 Problems, quarterback, Casey. My reserve, from IOD, quarterback, Adi. My reserve, from FOE, Ghostface. My reserve, from 99 Problems, my blocker, Book. And my reserve, from FOE, he's injured, but he still made the All-Star team, Twan. And lastly, my reserve, just inserted from YMM, Ice. That is my East All-Stars and coached by Jay. Just to let you know, that is the beast in the East. Let's go.
You're a beast in the East, so you have to traumatize your team, and your 2-4 defense, that's not going to matter with what they're going to face against with the best of the West. Obviously, they're the best, so they got to be named that because they're on the West. So there you go. My team on the West, and I'm going to start on defense. And I'm going to start with the safeties. The first safety, Dre of Them Getters. So you already know. Then you have Ralph of Violators. Those are my 2 safeties. Y'all not getting through those safeties going downfield, so it don't matter what you do. Then there's corners. I have Creep of Super Friends. And I have JJ of Spartans. Both guys, one athletic, one lengthy. Both guys have some speed, and they can lock up. So that's my corners there. The middle linebackers. I have Nook of Dutchman. Very physical, very energetic. And one person that's going to make you pay going over the middle. And then you have Ricky, who's also the captain of the West All-Stars from Carver. You know, he's one person that you already know is going to blitz in and pressure the quarterback. He's done it for Carver many times and helped him win championships because of his play. And now he has interceptions over his belt. You're not throwing his way. So there you go as our middle linebackers. And, of course, I got to mention our starting giver, Sean of Violators. He's putting your quarterbacks on the ground. And one thing I got to mention is since Dre, the safety, unfortunately for me, is playing in a championship, he won't play, and I have to replace him. So I'm going to put him with another physical guy, another lengthy guy who played with Ralph on the same team. Dev, he was playing, he made it for offense, but he can play defense. That's what he's known for. So I'm putting him back there as a safeties. We may adjust, every now and then. So it's not set in stone, but he was put back there with Ralph.
Right,
yeah, those are going to be the twin towers back there at safety. We may adjust, as the game goes along. And so now that I'm putting Dev on defense, I'm replacing the offensive person that, is vacant with Chris of Super Friends. A big-time player, very fast, also special teams guy. The other wideout will be Chris of Dutchman.
So 2 Chris's that wideout?
Listen, whatever works. One Chris is fast and is able to beat you on plays like the screen. You already know that where he comes from. The screen is one play that they mastered, and Chris is one of the keys to that. And then you have Chris of Dutchman, the person who's pretty much like a ghost on the field. And I give him the name. I give him the title of the Ghost on the Field because nobody sees him out there. So that's why I give him the title of Ghost on the Field, because nobody gets to see him on the field. By the time they see him, he's already in the end zone, or at least downfield. So that's exactly what's going to happen in this game when you have these two wideouts there. Then you have in the slot, I have Sean of Never Scared, a person who's been lights out going downfield. Y'all not going to be able to hold this man because nobody in the regular season was able to. 8 touchdowns, he's going to have about 1 or 2 in this very game. So he's going to be our slot receiver. Nobody's staying with him. Then you have Juice of Them Getters, a person that very dynamic on this Them Getters team, a big playmaker, somebody who's going to be unguardable too. So them two at the slots, you have problems out there. So wait till your defense faces these two guys in the slots. Then you have the running backs. I have Christian of the Wolverines, a player that's going to give it his all no matter what. One of their big playmakers on the Wolverines, very fast, and one of the only players that had hands on this team. So he fits as the all-star. He's going to be our running back then. So the person matching him on the other side as a running back is Welsh of the Shockers. One person that big-time offensive player. He's been an all-star already with Slaughterhouse. He's coming back to play for the West this time. Big-time player, very fast. He's able to go downfield from the backfield if he wants to. He's going to be another weapon that's going to kill you on offense. And the quarterback, why do I even have to announce the man that's going to be a quarterback in Reggie? He's definitely the person deserving. I have to say his name because he deserves that starting spot. Unfortunately, as much as it pains me, he's going to be in the championship, so he can't play. So I'm bringing up Fred as the quarterback, has just as strong an arm and is able to connect on the field with all of these guys. He's been there in the All-Star game, able to put up points, and you're going to see how talented he is yet again in another All-Star game. I also got to replace Juice. Listen, I tried to avoid mentioning it, but I got to replace Juice as well on offense. It's unfortunate. All these guys is playing in chip, but they also make the All-Star team. So I have to replace Juice here on offense. The person I'm going to replace him with is Happy Feet of Spartans, because he is a person that played lights out for this team, one of their only weapons. He deserves to be there, and he gets to be bumped up to the starting spot. So that's a guy who's also going to be there to beat you on defense if nobody else can. Listen, our offense is stacked, so you need to worry about that. So that's my starters for both offense and defense. My reserves are Joel of Super Friends, normally out the backfield, very great player. Sam of Wolverines, one of the only other consistent playmakers on the Wolverines team. Mijo of Carver, a very capable ball giver. One person that's going to be out there getting in the quarterback's eyes. You have Cable Guy of Carver, one person that's very consistent on offense, getting through the gaps and making big plays on offense. You have Zed of Shockers, big-time playmaker on defense. Able to play some offense too, but I have him there as backup for defense. Then you have Moses, who's unfortunately injured, but I got to mention him as an honorary all-star, a person who probably would be starting if he was able to play. And I have Speedy as the blocker from Violators, a person who's going to pressure, who's going to keep any of your guys from rushing and protecting the quarterback. Those are my all-stars, and we definitely are shooing for a win in this all-star game here.
It's going to be fun. The great thing about it is all our guys can play both ways. You know what I mean? So It's going to be a lot of fun. That's why we didn't have too many all-stars, because we know we're going to play certain guys 2 ways, and we want to give everybody as much playing time as possible. So make sure you check that out. The wager is between me and Ghost. The winner, first of all, the winner of the all-star game, that conference get to choose the ball first and second half in the championship. That's very important to the championship game. But our bet is the loser will have to wear a wig with a scarf, and on the scarf is going to say, I am, on whatever side. If it's for me, I'm representing the East. If it's on Ghost, he's representing the West. So it's going to say, for me, if I'm wearing it, I am a West groupie. And I have to take certain pictures during the day before the championship game. We'll take a few snapshots with certain players, pretty much humiliating whoever loses. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and that's the wager of the bet. And Ghost better get his wig.
Listen, it's not even going to be a wager because not only are you going to be wearing that wig, but the East is not getting no three-peat over here.
That's it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This is just something to throw at y'all, something to get you see. We're going to have a lot of fun. All-Star game, make sure you come out, tell all the players who made the All-Star. You just saw that you're on the team. Please bring $5 for the ref fee. That'll cover, that's to pay the ref that's going to ref, but you'll get a shirt with your patch and the hat that you'll get. Congratulations to all the All-Stars that made it. Congratulations to all the teams that participated. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. We always have a great time. And we're going to try to relax during the All-Star game. We try to let our hair down. You don't record. You be on your sideline. I'll be on my sideline. Yeah. We're going to have other people taking some video of the All-Star game, the atmosphere, because a lot of times we record the game, but we don't get to see the sideline.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. So make sure you're out there. Much love to y'all. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J. My partner Ghost. We're going to see you at the field. Championship game, 6 o'clock, 161 Old Yankee Stadium. All-Star game, 3:30. So 3 o'clock. Make sure y'all out there. Check us out. We're going to be excited. Have a good time, man. Talk to y'all soon. We out of here.